Our history and the history of the nation magazine intertwined somewhat in a slight sort of way. Between 1921 and 1923, Ernest Greening was the editor of the nation. Ernest Greening grew up to become the territorial governor of Alaska and our first elected senator. In 1958, he was elected to serve in the United States Senate. And in 1964, actually I think it was about a week after I finished basic training in the Army, Ernest Greening was one of 2 United States senators to vote against the Gulf of Tonkin resolution. And I'd like at this point to introduce a person who was recently elected to the Alaska legislature. Her name is Andrea Dahl. She's a great lady.
On behalf of the delegation, I want to welcome the nation here. And I want to say, and I know you all agree with me, that we so much appreciate your truth in reporting, your candor, your honesty, your strength, your courage. We benefit from that. You know, when you look at our administration and what they've accomplished, I have to say they have been very, very good at growing terrorism. What has that administration, what has Bush administration done in this country? And that is where the tears must fall. Because what I think about what they have done in this country, their arrogance, their undesire to be accountable in any way. They have fought against our principles and against everything we believe in. And because of that, I have to say one more time to the nation, we so believe in you and we so support you in your reporting. We in Juneau go arm in arm with you. We are also not afraid to stand up and speak our voice. We're not afraid to come down here today and be part of this and to speak out and to fight for all the things that this country truly does stand for. Thank you very much for coming.
I want to thank the Veterans for Peace for inviting me to be here. This is a very important event for Juneau, for our region, and ultimately for our nation. The nation represents the real foundation of our country and an open press, a freedom of the press. And so the healthiness of our society, a democratic society, really is in that education to people. What I'd like to say today is thank you for helping do that, and we really appreciate that you're here today, and thanks to the veterans.
Our next speaker is not from Juneau. When we communicated via email, I told her that the Veterans for Peace in Juneau could not guarantee good weather, but we could guarantee warmth. And I would like the Juneau people and the Nation Cruise people to join me in extending a very warm welcome to Katrina vanden Heuvel.
I have to collect. This is so moving. This is so moving. I'm gonna, against this beautiful rainforest. We are so honored. We walk arm in arm with you, veterans of peace, veterans of conscience. We take strength from your voices. Yes, the nation for 142 years, I have it here on the thing. For 142 years has committed itself to a stronger democracy, has raised the tough questions we believe are needed for a strong democracy. And in these last years, when so many voices were muted, we stood with many of the cruisers who are with us, because the nation is more than a magazine. It is a community, and it is a community with you. It is a community with thousands across this country, and I hope in this world, who care about peace and social justice. And we care deeply about what has been done to destroy this country in these last years, destroy a military. Your voices will be so crucial in ending this war. I spoke to Bob Filner this morning, who is the chair of the House Veteran Affairs Committee. Good man, and I told him, what should I say? What would you say? And he said, we have to bring the intensity of your voices, particularly the veterans' voices, into Washington. And we must make sure to stop this callous and cruel administration from not caring for, not loving, not caring for those who have served their country. But what is so tragic is that this war, this occupation has undermined our security, has inflamed anti-Americanism around this world, has looted our treasury, but it is the human costs, which are so tragic. And you, veterans of conscience and of peace, live with that. And our voices are with yours. As you said, Phil, our history is intertwined with yours. Senator Ernest Gruening was one of the first, perhaps the first senator to speak out against another war and to vote against the lies of another administration. And at a magazine like The Nation, his conscience and his dissent and his fighting spirit, he was fighting in every good battle this country had, and we will continue the fight peacefully with your support. And I just, again, am so moved by this reception. I now know, I should have known, but you want to see it, but the community of care, of commitment, of people who believe in building a stronger democracy against tough odds. We all know how tough it's going to be. So thank you for all of us at The Nation. And I know you're going to hear from some other great people on this cruise. And join us. If you come to New York, come visit our offices. Come on a cruise. And please stay in touch with me with your ideas and your thoughts about how we can make this a more just and more peaceful world. Thank you.
Things that have been happening, if you have been reading The Nation and reading your emails, is something that we in Alaska know a great deal about, and that is the egregiously high cost of postage. And we discussed that at a Veterans for Peace meeting, and we're making a token attempt to help ease your burden very slightly. So, thank you. So keep it up.